Yeah, the water, geez. If you have a tankless water heater like I do and you can't remember the last time you flushed it, this video is for you. I waited pretty much 5 years. 5 years. Not intentionally, it's been always something that I've needed to get to, but I just never made the time to do it. And what came out of this, while the color was pretty, it's not necessarily a good sign. And a Rinnai unit just like this can run anywhere from $500 to over $1,000. And I'm not gonna replace mine early because I neglected my maintenance. So I'm catching up today and sharing with you how I did that. 0 plumbers required. You can do this yourself, even though you're dealing with water, within anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes. Let's get started. Find the power cord and then unplug that from the wall. You'll then see your Rinnai Tankless water heater turn off. Now go to the superior pump bucket and then open that up. You're gonna find this little tab on the lid, push that and then just open it up, lefty-loosey. Right when you open the bucket, you're gonna find the instruction manual. Set it off to the side. 1 hose, 2 hose, and then the pump that you're going to use. And also your dehydrated descaler solution, set that off to the side. Now let's go to the gas line. Find that gas line, follow it over to your very first valve and then turn that off. Close it. You'll know when it's closed when the handle itself is perpendicular to the actual line. This same logic applies to all of the valves I'm going to be opening and closing throughout this demonstration video. So a little bit of a lay of land here. This valve is your cold valve that's allowing water to go from your main line into the tankless water heater. This is currently open, as it follows the direction of the pipe. Above it is your service valve. We're going to use this, and if you get close, there are directional arrows showing you which way to open and close this valve. So we are going to close this main valve that is stopping your main water line, allowing water into the tankless water heater. You may need some pliers for leverage, but once you start it, you can often do this by hand. If you pay attention to the actual valve, you'll see this little metal nub here. This will also indicate which way you should turn, so you don't accidentally force the wrong way. And then also go to the hot water line, and we're going to close this valve as well. This is saying no hot water from the tankless water heater is going to go to the house. So now I have both of these water lines shut. Cold water into the tankless water heater and then hot water going out. Now we're going to move over to create the descaling solution. Make sure this bucket is clean, pour out the solution, the entire packet, and then pour in 1 gallon of water. I figured out that 7.5 bottles of water make a gallon. Mix all this up. Then I took a bucket, put it directly underneath the tankless water heater, and now I'm going to check the cold water inlet filter. Grab some pliers, lefty-loosey, loosen this up to the point where I can do this by hand, and as you're doing this, water may come out, but look how dirty this filter was. It's been a minute. So I'm going to take a delicate wire brush and just kind of brush everything out and then rinse it. We want this thing clean. In order to remove it, I gently grabbed this white plastic piece and pulled away from this black cap. Be sure you don't lose any gaskets. Water may come out a little bit, so make sure that bucket is directly below it. Do a nice gentle scrub, rinse it all out, and then you're gonna put this filter back into this cap. You'll see here that these 2 little nubs, those do align. Push that in, make sure it's against the gasket, put this back, hand tighten it, and do not over tighten, but make sure it's snug. Next, I'm going to take the pump out of the box and then attach one of the hoses. Make sure that the gasket is clearly seen here and secure that onto this threaded opening on the pump. Make sure all of your connections are tight, but don't cross thread. These should be easy to start and make sure they're snug. Set this pump off to the side and we're going to move to the service valves. Remove this cap to the cold line service valve, lefty-loosey, and you're going to attach the other end of the hose that you just secured to the pump. Again, don't cross thread, make sure it's snug. Now I'm going to take the pump and put it into the solution that I previously mixed. And now we're going to go to the other service valve for the hot water. We're going to remove this cap and then we're going to take the other hose, making sure that the gasket is in this one, and secure this down to the service valve. Make sure this is also nice and snug and tight. Then take the other end of this hose that you just attached and put it in the bucket of the pump. Now we're going to go to the service valves and open both of these up. No water should be coming out yet because the main water is still closed. These valves are allowing the water from the pump bucket to go into the system and cycle back out. It's going to cycle that solution for at least an hour. Grab the power cord to the pump and plug that in. The moment you plug that in, you should see some sputtering and some water starting to come out because the pump is pushing that solution into your tankless water heater and it is coming back out that hot water line. At this point, this is what your valves should look like. You should have 2 open service valves and 2 closed water valves. Your cold and your hot should be closed because again, this is just cycling the solution from that white bucket. This is also probably a good time to dry up anything that got wet and look at the difference of the water when I first started out. We're gonna run this for an hour versus what the water looked like after 1 hour. Unplug this water pump from the wall. Let any residual water drain into this bucket. Now go to the cold service valve and we're going to close it and then remove this hose. We're done with it at this point. And you can also put the cap back on. You can also remove the other end of this hose from the pump itself and then take the pump out of the solution bucket and put that somewhere for all of it to dry. But we're going to make sure to keep the hot service hose here. Now you need to prepare for the follow-up flush, getting clean water into the system. I would recommend getting another 5-gallon bucket or 2 or 3 or 4, making sure this other hose is pushed into the bucket because the moment water pressure hits, it's going to push that hose back and it's going to fill up fast. Now open up this cold water valve all the way. Do this quickly but gently because water is going to start flowing pretty quick, especially if you have a 3/4 inch PEX line. It took about 15 seconds to fill this bucket entirely. So that's why you have to be prepared for another bucket to fill that one up. And this one took about 35 seconds to fill up entirely. And you want to let this water run for about 5 minutes for a complete clean flush. So you can imagine and do the math of how many buckets you have to fill in order to get to 5 minutes of just running water. Came out to be about 6 trips, filling up both of these buckets and dumping them down a drain in order to feel like I'm confident enough that the chemicals were flushed out. And you can see here how clean the water is in the white bucket compared to the very first time when we flushed it. Now after those 6 trips, I removed the buckets, dried up any mess, and brought an empty bucket back to put underneath the tankless water heater. And now we're going to close the hot water service valve. So both the service valve and the actual water valve for hot water should be closed, and everything for the cold should also be closed right now. This is also a good time to double check the filter that we put on before, make sure that's still clean. And now we're going to open back up the cold valve to allow water into the tankless water heater. Open that up all the way, and then go back to the hot and make sure that you take off this hose and put the cap back on for the service valve. And then you're going to open the hot line all the way. And I open and close these valves pretty slowly because you don't want to damage them, but if there are any leaks, you'll start to see dripping as you're opening them, and then you can address those leaks. And so at this point, you should have everything like you started. Both your hot and your cold main water valves are open and your service valves are shut. Dry everything up, check for leaks, check back in a couple hours to also check for leaks. Go back to your gas line, open up that valve, plug back in the tankless water heater. You'll see some lights kick on, maybe some additional noises. That is resetting and restarting. And then everything that I used today, I put back into the white bucket, let all that dry, make sure again that there's no leaks. And I took some painter's tape and wrapped that around the cold line and labeled it cold. And now you're done. And that's it. You did it. Now look, tankless water heaters, they're amazing. I know some people hate them, some people love them. You have endless hot water, they're super energy efficient, they can last upwards to 20 years if they're taken care of really well, you know, like flushes. But just like anything else that has a lot of water flowing through it, there is mineral deposit or mineral buildup. Calcium and limescale can build up over time, especially within the heat exchanger, and that can cause major problems. It really destroys your tankless water heater from the inside out. The constant hot water doesn't really remain very constant. There's little sputters and spikes of cold water. And eventually the whole tankless water heater can fail. While it can be intimidating to do any type of plumbing work, I hope this guide was able to help you understand the step-by-steps that I took in order to take an annual maintenance project that you can do yourself and you're saving some money. Now, some things I learned along the way. When you're pushing clean water after you descaled it, that water that's going to be coming out into your bucket will fill your bucket really fast. So be ready while you're holding that hose to also be ready with a wrench in the other hand to turn off the main cold water valve, or at least slow it down. I don't want you to panic and then all of a sudden have water everywhere in your basement. And the other tip that I'd recommend is make sure you are not cross-threading anything. A lot of this you're dealing with plastic and metal, and also metal on metal. The easiest way to do that is just go slow. When you're tightening something on, it should be really easy to get going, and then it should get tighter and harder as it goes and it tightens. But if it's really hard just to start it, you might be cross-threading. So back it up and try it again. If you have a system like this and it's been over a year, don't wait to flush it. Don't wait 5 years, don't wait 4 years, don't even wait 3 or 2 years. Do it annually. Especially if you live in a hard water area and you don't have a water softener. You're putting your tankless water heater at risk even more so. I waited 5 years, I got lucky. The longer you wait, the more buildup you get and the more damage that's done to the heater. I'll put a link down below in the description as well in YouTube shopping for this superior pump kit. It worked amazingly. And if this video helped you, like, subscribe, I would highly appreciate it. And also give me a comment down below, what's the longest you've waited to flush your system? 1, if you haven't already, what does that time frame look like for you? Or 2, if you are now on an annual cadence, what was the longest that you waited? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.